I commend the witnesses for not being led to state things that obviously you don't feel are true. And clearly, the talking points that get used are not reality. So thank you for actually holding your ground and not being led to say stupid things. Ms. Horst, is al-Qaeda in Afghanistan?
Pardon me. So we believe right now that al-Qaeda cannot use Afghanistan as a base from which to hit the United States.
No. I asked you a very specific question. Is al-Qaeda in Afghanistan?
That is something that I think I'd rather talk about in a more classified setting. A more general answer that I would want to talk about because of the nature of intel and some of our counterterrorism work that we're doing.
On June 30th, when the administration tried to whitewash the Afghanistan withdrawal by releasing the report on the July 4th holiday weekend, President Biden was asked about the report, and he stated that al-Qaeda is gone from Afghanistan. Do you agree with the president's statement that al-Qaeda is gone from Afghanistan?
I would not contradict the president.
So you are stating for the record that al-Qaeda is not in Afghanistan?
What I'm stating for the record is that we no longer believe that Afghanistan is a base from which al-Qaeda can threaten the homeland.
Not what I'm asking. You just said on the record that you will not contradict the president. The president said al-Qaeda is gone from Afghanistan. Are you stating for the record that al-Qaeda is gone from Afghanistan, i.e. no longer there in Afghanistan?
That is not what I'm stating. I am stating that I don't think that Afghanistan is a threat, that al-Qaeda can pose a threat to the United States from Afghanistan. And when it does, as we saw in the example from al-Zawahiri, we are willing to go in and unilaterally take care of that threat.
Do you agree with the president that the Taliban are helping the United States?
I think that the Taliban, we are carefully monitoring to see whether the Taliban are living up to their commitments when it comes to counterterrorism. And again, when we think that they are not, we are going in on our own.
Do you agree with the president that the Taliban are helping the United States?
I think that the Taliban have understand what their obligations are to us.
So when they bar female aid implementors from working, is that part of their obligations to us? You think they're helping us?
We've been very clear with the Taliban that what they're doing with women and girls is absolutely abhorrent. We have made it clear that any kind of normalization with the Taliban depends on them allowing 50% of their country to be participating in public life in this sphere. So we've been very clear.
So if what they're doing with women is abhorrent, what exactly are they doing that's helping us?
I did not say that the Taliban were helping us.
Okay, so you disagree with the president's comments that the Taliban are helping the United States. Thank you. And I would just note, last month, the United Nations Sanctions Monitoring Team reported that the Taliban has appointed at least 3 al-Qaeda members to senior government positions. The Taliban pays al-Qaeda monthly, quote-unquote, welfare payments. Al-Qaeda is operating at least 6 training facilities in Afghanistan, including one specifically dedicated to training suicide bombers, and the Taliban uses al-Qaeda manuals to train their security forces. So again, I ask you, do you agree with the president that al-Qaeda is gone from Afghanistan and that the Taliban are helping the United States? And therefore, is the UN sanctions monitoring team lying when they released this report? Or do you disagree with what the president stated publicly?
I would let the UN sanctions, the UN monitoring team report stand on its own, and again come back to my point that we carefully monitor what is a threat to the United States.
Okay, so do you agree with the UN sanctions monitoring team report?
I would need to read it more in detail. I will frankly tell you that I need to read it more in detail before I could tell you whether I agree or do not agree.
Okay, I would just state for the record, it is clear that when the president said that al-Qaeda is gone and that the Taliban are helping us, that was a lie. It's not true. And the UN sanctions monitoring team's report does stand on its own and should be believed by the administration. And the administration should take it seriously. I yield back.